Hi, guys. My name is Diana Manowska. I'm a family law specialist practicing family law in San Francisco, California. Today, I would like to introduce a very cool platform called BlissDivorce and CEO Scott Seidewitz, who created it all with his team, that allows people to go from beginning to an end, enter your information, and the platform will take you up to the endpoint, meaning the BlissDivorce will file the forms, create agreements, have you sign it. It's called default divorce with an agreement.
Yeah, we will guide you. Our platform guides couples step by step through the entire divorce process. And importantly, not just through the process, but also through resolving your disagreements. Because even if you're getting along, it doesn't mean you agree on everything. So sometimes couples still have things to work out. And we even have couples that aren't getting along. They each get their own logins. They don't even need to talk to each other. And our dispute resolution tools, our digital divorce mediation, are very effective at helping people work out their disagreements so they can reach a full divorce settlement and move on with their lives.
This is just part one, a tease video taking you through the platform, because the paid version, once you click pay, will be in part two, where you get to see actually the magic of the patented division of assets, spreadsheets, and creation of forms and proposals. Can you briefly tell us what the nugget of this platform is that nobody else has?
Sure. So BlissDivorce is an online platform. What's really unique about it is there is no other online platform. There's some online platforms out there where you might be able to do the documents for your agreement. But with BlissDivorce, you can actually work out disagreements you have with your spouse. So if your spouse wants a certain spousal support amount, you want a different amount. If you can't decide how to divide assets, if your child custody agreement you two are having some disagreements on, we actually have really effective digital mediation tools to help you resolve those disagreements. And in almost all cases, we can work them out. And if needed as a last-ditch effort, we could always bring in a mediator, but that's very rarely needed. That's what's very unique about BlissDivorce. We can handle the whole divorce from beginning to end, even if you two don't agree on everything.
So the first step is signing up, which I'm going to go through. The second step is the disclosures. You can do it yourself or invite your spouse. And the third step, when you pay the money, BlissDivorce will divide the assets and create that magic spreadsheet that we pay a lot of money to CPAs to do. And then from there on, the legal team will take over not the legal team, but the clerks will take over the paperwork. It's not legal representation. So it's a tool to help to finish the divorce from beginning to an end in a semi-uncontested matter, right?
Yeah, although even if it's somewhat contested, we will help you work out your disagreements. If it's, very acrimonious with a lot of conflict, they really need to hire a great attorney like you, Diana. But if it's, that you have some things you disagree on and you need to work them out, we have 100% success rate in helping couples resolve their disagreements.
And because I like to see the product step by step before buying it, so let's and actually up until that point, and it's going to be for free. So I created an account completely blank, and I'm going to screen share right now to go through the whole process. Hopefully it will be less confusing. So I'm assuming you can see my screen sharing, and I muted the video, and the first thing that shows up is thank you for signing up and the tools, and I accept free access, no obligations. I would provide my name.
Right. All sites have to have a user agreement. So all the legal stuff with a few things about us keeping things confidential in our different plans.
Right. What is if you could summarize briefly, what is that about? Is it terms and conditions so I cannot copy as a user the platform, or what is that?
Yeah, no, it's much more about it explains the process. You agree to use BlissDivorce. that we, commit to keep things confidential unless a court orders us to do something otherwise. It explains the plans and what the fees will be. And then there are certain things in there about mediation. If you need to go into mediation, it's kind of the terms and conditions if mediation is needed.
Okay. So while you were talking, I skipped through a lot of steps, and this video is going to play for 1.5 minutes. Can you, Scott, tell me what this video is about? What's in a nutshell?
Sure. Before you get started with BlissDivorce, there's just a few pieces of information we want to make sure that everybody understands, and make it easy. We put it into videos. There's a couple videos, but you could also read it. It's because a lot of people don't understand the very basics of how divorce works. What's the difference between community and separate property? You really need to understand that if you're going to work out your divorce agreement. Also, a lot of people have no idea that they're required by state law to disclose all their assets and debts to their spouse. Each spouse needs to disclose it. So we explain things like that. There's also something legally called the date of separation. We call it the date of divorce intent. That has important implications on how you divide assets. So we explain all that stuff up front so that then when you get in and you start using BlissDivorce, everything makes sense and you can make good decisions.
So in principle, you guys are not giving legal advice, but generally people need to understand the date of marriage, date of separation, that is community property, and
Exactly.
everything beyond that, it's considered separate property. So anything acquired after the date of separation, gift, bequest, even during the marriage is still separate property, right? And so, and one more important thing that this video, I think, was telling us about the preliminary declaration of disclosure. Disclosing assets, over disclosing is more important. Doesn't mean you have to divide it, but you have to disclose current assets.
Exactly. And in fact, BlissDivorce at the end generates schedules that are attached to the marital separation agreement, which is kind of the legal document that is filed. And we have a schedule that is separate property. So it documents the property that you say, this is my separate property, and your spouse agrees. That's your separate property. I'm not going to touch it. So it's important to disclose that so we can include it in your marital separation agreement.
You will laugh, but I lose clients for months when I send them the FL 142 form, the assets and debt form and income and expense declaration form. And one of our mutual friends was telling me, can you provide me some kind of easy way, turbo divorce question answers that will create the form? And you got it. So
absolutely. And we generate that form for you.
Exactly. Thank you. Okay. And then, so this is the second video I have to watch, right? This is about preliminary disclosure. I'm going to play this video, but it's going to talk about the lottery case. So very fun video to watch.
This is the one you have to watch.
I see.
Because of the issue of disclosure that you brought up, people are like, what? You want me to disclose my retirement accounts? We're like, yep. If you don't want to lose
maybe we need to emphasize, most common misconception is if I disclose, I have to divide.
Right.
It's not absolutely, they can agree whatever they want to divide.
Exactly. Even if it's community property, if you go to a judge, it'll probably be split 50-50, but that doesn't mean you have to. You guys, two adults, can come up with whatever agreement they want on division of assets.
Did you guys think about, after the date of separation, you have that earned $1 bill that you go and buy a lottery thinking, this is my new beginning, I'm going to make it big, and then you win the lottery and don't want to disclose. Guess what? Rossi case, this is the video you're going to watch, is about not disclosing on the preliminary form, asset and debt form, not disclosing that ticket made it so that she didn't get anything, although it would have been 100% hers because it's 100% separate property after date of separation. So disclosing doesn't mean sharing. So that's the lesson learned.
Yeah, disclosing protects you because, as you were just saying, in this case, and it's a true case, that somebody won the lottery, a woman won the lottery, and she didn't disclose it. And the judge said, well, since you didn't disclose it and tried to hide it, I'm giving the full $1.3 million to your husband. The reason you want to disclose isn't for the benefit of your spouse, it's to protect yourself.
so that the spouse cannot go after you for omitted asset.
Exactly.
All right. Date of marriage. I'm just going to make things up. Let's say I'll put this date, 2017. The date of divorce intent. This is the date of separation. Let's just say today, 07/26.
Yeah, and a lot of people aren't
2026.
familiar with what this is. This is the date that one spouse said to the other spouse their intent to get divorced and started acting in accordance with that. And anything after that date, as you were saying earlier, is considered separate property. So it's an important date.
And some people think, oh, do I need to move out? No, you don't. The date of separation has been appealed up until Supreme Court. And eventually the court said, it's expensive to move out. So you can live in separate rooms. Don't wash his laundry. Don't file taxes together. Although each of them is not individually exclusive, it's accumulation of circumstances, how you act as a person who said, I want divorce. So act accordingly as roommates, not as husband and wife. That's the lesson from all these cases.
Yep.
Disclosure, have you or your spouse already filed the petition? So we didn't, because we want you to do it for us. And I'm just going to
invite your
use...
spouse now if you'd like, or you can send the invite later.
Okay, I don't want to invite, so I'm going to say later. Go to your dashboard. This is my favorite part. Okay. This is where fun begins. So this is the dashboard where it explains. We're going to show you how to get 13 things. Okay, let me close this. This is the dashboard. Okay.
Good.
Modules where they enter information. So we enter information in these 6 boxes: bank accounts, personal possessions such as furniture, child custody parenting plan, which I love. It has this 223 color-coded schedule proposals, child and spousal support. Soon there will be a calculator for that, although it's also available online. Date of separation, date of intent, and then other issues that might come up, which could be miscellaneous provisions, right?
Yeah, it could be anything. Sometimes people say, oh, we want to continue to own our property together for 2 years. Can you put that in our divorce agreement? And those are the kind of things that then we'll go ahead and put in. All
right. So if I don't want to disclose my personal information, all I want, for example, is to say that, let's see if it lets me do that. Add manually. Yay. Okay. So let me.
But I do want to say, one of the best features of BlissDivorce is you can automatically import accounts if you want. You can enter them. We have easy screens to enter things, but you could also just do an import and it'll draw it right from your bank or investment account, all the information.
So I added this and then upload. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of times people ask us, well, why are you making me upload a statement? It's just required as part of your disclosures. It's the state of California that it requires it, not us. But see how easy it was to add that account?
That was super easy. So let's say I have community furniture. I'll just add so you guys see our age table. No debt. Upload photo. Let's see if it does let me do without the photo. Nice.
Yeah, photo's optional.
Perfect. So I have 1, 2, 3. And then if I don't have any debt, then I just keep that part, right?
Right.
If we don't have any debt. And we don't have any children, although it's really good to explore this option to add a child and then go through the custody schedule. But this video is going to be way too long if we do that. So let's say I have done my bank account. I have added date of marriage, date of separation, and I just want to divide that bank account. And I would like to say no spouses report. And
Put that there.
what usually people like, I would restore my maid name. Or actually, I have my already name. Okay, so I just click.
Well, you'll want to save that.
Ready to pay.
Yeah, it'll give you there's a few more things you need to do. One is you can see it says divisions are pending. So you still need to say how you'd like to divide these assets. You've entered the assets, but you didn't say how you want to split them up in your divorce agreement.
That's the part I skipped. Okay. This is where I was clicking, and let's say this is community. I want to split it 50-50. Save it. You guys need to watch out for the green button.
So instead of doing that, I was going to suggest if you click on change up there before you click save. Just above community property. Yeah, right there where it says change. Why don't you click help me decide? And you can see if you're not sure if something is community or separate property, you just answer these questions.
Was it a gift? Oh, you're right. Actually, it was my gift.
Well, you can see then it's going to be separate property.
Okay. I was just doing a hypothetical. It was,
okay.
That's it, right? So now it's done.
You can pick one of those and you can always change it.
Perfect. Okay, back to the dashboard. Now it's all green, and the magic will happen after I click.
Are you sure we don't want to just show those parenting schedules in the child custody?
Okay, let's do it.
It won't take too much time.
All right. Living arrangement.
So the schedule is under living arrangements.
Oh, that's the fun part. Okay. Let's say primary. Ooh.
You can click on those, or you can pick one of the options above.
And then I want that to go. I want husband to have weekends only.
Right.
Save.
I think you want to click toggle parents and then assigned. Click the button down there on the, or you can just click weekdays and weekends. We'll do that also. Click that button up above where it says weekends and weekdays. It'll do exactly what you're doing.
Oh, that's a shortcut. Yeah. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted.
Right.
I don't want to lose it.
The other tabs, things like, yeah, you can save that. The other tabs are things like vacations. Oh, I guess you need to.
I would say 2 weeks per year.
Right. That's what we see most often.
Another spouse gets 4 weeks because I gave only weekends.
Well, then you'll need to fill in the holidays before you can save it.
Okay. For the sake of time, I will just say Christmas to me. Well, Christmas, I would say alternate holidays.
Yeah, you're going to have to specify that in the holidays tab if you want to save it, but we could always just navigate away and do it later. Won't let you save until you do all 3 tabs, the holidays tab too.
Oh, wow. This is good. So it's the form we have, FL111. So then I'm just going to go without thinking because for the sake of time. But each.
And then school breaks.
Oh, actually, I like the, with your spouse. I think I'm rushing this too much because this is so good. So with me, with your spouse half of the time with each, which would mean, let's say if the Christmas break is 2 weeks, it would split it in the middle. And alternating years, which means I get the whole
Right.
Christmas
Well,
and the other
this
spouse.
is just the Christmas day. These are the legal holidays. The school breaks are the next tab to the right. So this would just be
Okay.
Christmas Day itself.
Actually, I would like to alternate that, because why would you split one day? That's too much.
Exactly.
School breaks. Oh, school. So spring break could be how long? Like 4 weeks. I would usually split it, and winter break the same.
Yeah, it's like 2 weeks.
Right. Each gets a week, and then special days. Wow, this is very specific.
Mhm.
Children's birthday, father's, Halloween.
We wanted to make sure we had a really solid comprehensive child custody agreement so that everything was out.
So children's birthday, we would say alternate. Father's birthday always was the other spouse. Father's Day was father. Alternate. Mother's Day was me, and my birthday. Perfect. That's what people usually would do.
If you had a religious holiday or another holiday that was not included in the list of holidays, you could click on custom holidays and add something like Rosh Hashanah or Kwanzaa or any other type of holiday that you wanted to.
Oh, and then it creates another.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Another line in the divorce agreement or in the child custody agreement. But you don't have to do that.
And if I wanted to do 2-2-3, what would it be?
Probably that's under the time split evenly. You chose primarily with you above. If you wanted to split it evenly, it would be a 2-2-3 option.
Oh, wow, look at this. I like it. So 2-2-3, this is how it look like. Monday, Tuesday was me, and then was that. And then you guys can see it's alternating weekend with one parent. 2-2-5-5, this is. Alternating weeks. Wow, week on, week off. This is really good. I'll take screenshots to share with my clients, because it's really, really good. And I think to have a visual like this.
I think you might have to clear out that custom holiday that you added if you go back to holidays. I think the custom holiday, if you go over to custom, yeah, you need to delete that one or add something, and now you can save. There.
Okay. So now we can go back to dashboard.
Mm-hmm. The one thing it will ask you to do is, there are just a couple questions in child and spousal support that'll need to be answered. Oh, I guess since you have a child now that I think of it, we will need to answer the child support questions.
Well, let's say I don't want spousal support. The spouse doesn't want spousal support. And let's say, or what if we say doesn't apply?
Okay.
This is so good. So childcare expense, school expense, travel expense, visits, because then we can propose what we want to split. I would just say we would like to reserve this issue for later. We figure it out among ourselves.
There's one more question down at the bottom there.
So if I didn't click does not apply and I did want to get support, would that calculate automatically?
You will get a follow-up report that takes all this information into account and uses the DisoMaster software to generate a report for the couple that says, here's the guideline child support amount.
And so when it says free trial ends, that means I can use this dashboard until November.
Yes.
And then
months for free.
And then if I want to generate disclosure form, then that would be.
Yep.
the paid version, any type of forms I would like to generate, that's paid.
Right. Right. Or if, that's also when both spouses click done with step one or ready to pay, that's when the system does a check to see if you're in agreement on the marital settlement or how you want to divide things. And if there's not an agreement, then we have digital mediation tools.
You have mediators as available for any issues that cannot be resolved through this platform.
In most cases, you can work things out using our tools. The algorithms are really good at finding compromises both spouses will accept. But if you don't work it out, absolutely. You can see right on our website, there's the profiles of our different mediators. We can bring one in for you. You can choose one based on the profiles, and then that person over Zoom will help you work out any remaining issues.
So just as a summary of BlissDivorce, it helps not to worry about forms because it automatically generates them, and then it creates these scary forms that people don't like. TurboTax, that's what I'm talking about. This form, that's what it's doing. And
exactly. Yeah.
The team is filing, and there are mediators who are helping to resolve things on a pretty reasonable scale. So
you did point out an important issue, and it's another thing that differentiates us from kind of the simpler online divorce services. There you can go in and type in their form fills, and you can print out your forms and file them. With us, our system automatically generates forms and schedules for your marital separation agreement, but we still have professional documentation specialists who are all licensed that review the forms. They prepare a few extra ones. So it's not just left to, filling in these things and something's done wrong. We have professionals review everything and make sure it's right before it's submitted to the court.
Right. And when I tried other platforms, I'm not going to name them, and I filled out the forms, and then they send me in 2 minutes the forms, I knew it's going to bounce.
About that. So we've had people come to us after using those other sites. And the other problem is a lot of times you don't agree with your spouse on things. So you fill out the forms, the spouse won't agree with it, and you've wasted your money. So with us, we both make sure that you've worked out your agreement, and then we guarantee that the forms will be accepted by the court.
And it's called default with an agreement, which means the one who initiates the divorce plugs in all the information, disclosing, over disclosing, and then plugs in the division proposal, and then the rest called agreement. So it will be provided by BlissDivorce and then filed. So the other spouse doesn't need to file anything.
Well, we do have the other spouse come in and also say how they would like to have things divided up, how they would like the child custody agreement to look, so we can see if there's agreement or not. And then if there's not agreement, that's when we bring in our digital mediation tools, or if needed, a mediator. So we do have both spouses involved, but one can take the lead if that's how the couple prefers.
But the other spouse doesn't need to file a response, the FL-120 form for divorce. So it's just one-sided with an agreement, which makes things less expensive.
Exactly. It saves one of the $435 filing fees. You only have to pay it once. Traditional divorce, you have to pay it twice. Both sides have to pay.
Correct. Well, that wraps our video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.